Have you ever been betrayed by someone who was supposed to love you? Have you ever felt like your life was headed somewhere great until it all fell apart? Have you ever found yourself asking, why me? If so, then this story is yours. This is the story of a boy, a dreamer, a victim, a prisoner, a kingmaker. His name was Joseph. But this isn't just a Bible story. It's a real-life story. It's a story about pain, about rejection, about destiny, and it's still happening today. In Lagos, in Johannesburg, in Nairobi, in Cairo, in Atlanta, in Kingston. Because Joseph is every young person who was underestimated, every visionary who was mocked, every innocent who was punished, and every wounded soul who still rose. Joseph was just 17. He had dreams, not just of greatness, but of purpose. He told his brothers what he saw in the night. Your sheaves bowed to mine. The stars and moon knelt before me. And instead of celebrating him, they hated him, not for doing wrong, but for daring to dream. Sound familiar? Ever been laughed at for wanting more? For thinking you could be more than your circumstances? That's Joseph. His own brothers, his own blood, sold him. For silver, for convenience, for silence. They told their father he was dead, and they watched their father cry, and Joseph was gone. He was taken to Egypt, a foreign land, a language he didn't understand, a system designed to use him, not elevate him. He was bought like a thing, placed in a house where he had to start again, as a slave. But Joseph did not break. He worked, he served, he stayed honest, until he was accused of something he didn't do, by someone who had more power than him, and he was thrown in prison, without trial, without justice, without anyone to defend him. Let's pause. How many young African men are in prison today for crimes they didn't commit? How many people were thrown out of school, out of church, out of their homes because someone lied? How many were rejected not because of who they are, but because someone couldn't handle their truth? That's Joseph's story, and it's ours too. Years passed. Joseph stayed in prison, forgotten, buried alive. And yet, he still interpreted dreams. He still served. He still believed. Even when the butler forgot him, even when the system ignored him, even when time kept moving without him. Why? Because what was inside Joseph was bigger than what was around him. Some of you reading this, you're in your own prison. Maybe it's not walls and bars. Maybe it's depression. Maybe it's debt. Maybe it's your environment, your family, your past. But I came to tell you, your story is not over. Because one day, the king had a dream, and no one could interpret it except Joseph. And just like that, the prisoner became the counselor, the rejected became the ruler, the slave became second in command to Pharaoh himself, from the pit to the palace, from forgotten to favored. And he used his power to save nations, including the very brothers who betrayed him. Can you imagine? To look in the eyes of the people who left you to die and say, I forgive you. To say you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's not a weakness, that's divine strength. Joseph is not just a man, he is a mirror, a reminder that what people do to break you can't stop what God placed inside you. That delay is not denial, that rejection is not the end, that the pit is not your grave, it's your beginning. So to every dreamer out there, don't stop, don't shrink, don't quit. You may be in the pit now, you may be misunderstood, but your story is not finished. And if Joseph could rise, so can you. This is Echoes of Africa, where ancient stories become fuel for your future, where what was buried comes back to life, where the echo still speaks.